Help! I need to grow my visibility fast, but I don't want to spend a bunch of money on ads. What should I do? Girl, I thought you'd never ask. Welcome to the Shoestring CMO. I am business coach Wendy Lawson, and I help micro business owners market their business on shoestring budgets. If you've got ginormous hopes and dreams, but just a minuscule little budget, you are in the right place. Today, I want to talk about how we can increase visibility on social media, because social media is an amazing place to market your micro business. In fact, there's some really good reasons why you want to implement an unpaid social marketing strategy. First of all, it's free 50 free. Oh, we like that price. It costs $0 to have a Facebook business page, an Instagram account, Pinterest, TikTok, Snapchat, all the places. I should just move my mouth and then we could dub in whatever the next big thing is, because it's coming, right? There's always going to be a new channel. So it's completely free to have a presence there, to participate there. And there are zero barriers to entry. Literally, all you need is Wi-Fi or, some sort of internet connection, and you can have a presence on these channels. Pretty awesome, if you ask me. Second, someone else already did all the hard work of creating the platform and making it attractive for your ideal customer to come hang out there. That was really nice of them. Thanks, Zuck. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the platforms. And third, it's really low-hanging fruit, right? People are already hanging out there. They're already there. In fact, I know I do this quite regularly. You might do the same thing. If I meet someone at a networking group or if I see a speaker talk, the first thing I do is I go check out their social presence. I want to see what they look like where I'm already at. So really, everybody's there. It's the low-hanging fruit. It costs you nothing. Zero barriers to entry. The platform's already built. Lots of great reasons to implement an unpaid social marketing strategy. But the challenge is there's so many people there because these platforms, the creators have done such an amazing job of marketing the platforms. There's so many people there that it's really easy to feel like you're standing in a stadium of 100,000 people. And you're like, hey, you're waving at your friend who's all the way across the stadium. Hey, I'm over here. Can you see me? Here I am. Hi, I'm here. I'm here. Hi, I'm here. That's what it can feel like. It can feel like you are in this giant stadium and everybody is having their own conversations. They're doing their own things. And you're like, hello, notice me. So we want to talk today. How can we get their attention? How can we get everyone, all 100,000 eyeballs in this stadium looking at us so we can have our very own Sally Field moments? You like me. You really, really like me. The first thing we want to make sure we understand is what the algorithm is and how it works. So all of the social platforms, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn in particular, all three of them have an algorithm that they use. And a lot of times you'll hear people say, oh, the algorithm is hurting me. Oh, the algorithm is against me. I need to hack the algorithm. I need to work around the algorithm. Here's the thing. An algorithm is simply, this is all it is. It's simply a procedure for solving a mathematical problem, okay? That's non-computer speak for what's going on behind the scenes. It's a procedure to solve a mathematical problem. So what is the problem that Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn are trying to solve? The problem is they want the visitors to stay on the platform for as long as possible. They don't want you to come in, see a thing, and bounce. They want you to spend time there. That's the problem that the algorithm solves. So how the algorithm works quickly is that when you post something, anytime anyone posts something, it's only shared with a fraction of the total audience that it could be seen by. So if you have 1,000 Facebook page followers and you post something, it's only going to initially go out to a very small portion of that number. And how those people interact, how that original sort of test sample interact with that content is how the platform, Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn, then rates that content as, will this keep more people on the platform? Or, which is good, yay, thumbs up, or will they ignore it? Will they leave? Are they not interested in this? So the more people that engage, the more people that approve and interact with your contents, then the greater the reach. So I want to talk about how can we increase our visibility on social media, on these 50 free platforms. And I'm going to give you 5 tips on how you can do that. Number 1, okay, it's called social media. It's not called push out and don't engage. It's called social. Social means we are social together. So if you want to have a presence, if you want to increase your visibility on social media, you got to be social. If you're in groups, you've got to show up, right? You've got to like and comment. You've got to interact. You've got to post. You've got to do all the things that a social person does. You can't just lurk. You can't just sort of hide in the background and be like, well, I don't understand. I'm not getting anything out of this. Like I'm in the group of 100 million people and nobody even notices me. You have to be social. That is social media 101. It's called social for a reason. All right. Number 2, really want to make sure that you are focusing on engagement. And I'm not talking about, oh, look at my ring that I don't have here. Oh, look that I don't have my wedding ring on. Griffey and I have been married for 14 years, but now we're getting engaged. Everyone noticed. No, that's not what I mean. When I talk about engagement, what I'm really talking about is interaction, people communicating and connecting over your content. Mari Smith, who is, by all accounts, the queen of Facebook, who knows this stuff inside and out. This is all she does is Facebook. She said at Social Media Marketing World last year, content is queen and the queen rules the house, right? So it's really all about creating content and sharing content that will engage your audience, that people will want to engage with. So think about your own personal use of social media. The content that you remember, the things that you get excited about, the people that you remember are the ones who share content that you engage with, you have dialogue with, you have a conversation with. They're providing some value to you and you're having an exchange for that. So you want to make sure that you are always focusing on engagement. Now, how can you focus on engagement on social media? You can't control whether or not someone interacts with your content, but you can have a call to action on every single post where you're asking a question, where you're asking them to engage with you. So you want to make sure that you really do have an eye on engagement, that you're not just posting on your Instagram or on your Facebook page or in LinkedIn, that you're posting just any old thing every single day. Right? Well, I posted all these things and nobody showed up, nobody interacted, because you're not focusing on engagement. You want to engage your audience. That's going to increase your visibility. So make sure that you are focused on engagement when you're working on your content plan for your unpaid social media strategy. Number 3, this one is kind of one of my favorites and it's kind of easy once you get the hang of it, but it can be very effective for you in increasing your visibility fast if you can create shareable content. So here's what I mean by this. We've all seen things and we've all done this. We see a meme or we see a graphic or we see an article, we see something that resonates with us, and we know that our friends and our social circle and the people around us would love this piece of content. So what do? Boop, we hit the share button. So now what we're doing when we share content that someone else created, what we're doing is we are extending their reach and their visibility beyond their audience to our audience. And there's no reason that you can't do that. You can create a graphic, you can share a blog post, you can share a resource, you can share anything of yours. And if it's shareable And I don't mean just like technically shareable, like they can hit the share button, it's not private. But if it's something that resonates with your audience, right? If you know your audience and you understand them and you relate to them and you're providing content that enriches their lives, that educates them, that makes them laugh, they will share that content. When they share that content, now your content is getting in front of a whole new audience. We do this all the time. Think about your own social media use. When was the last time you shared something that someone else posted because you were like, oh, my people are going to find that hilarious? We do it all the time. Number 4, if you take nothing away from this, other than this point right here, this is the one I really want you to lean into and pay attention, okay? You have to understand how we view social media and provide content that works within that platform. So here's what I mean. You have a LinkedIn account or an Instagram account or a Facebook business page, whatever it is, and you post something, okay? I want you to imagine just for 1 second that you are in your car and you're driving down the interstate. Every single billboard that you pass is someone's social media post, right? That's the way that the end user consumes media on social media. They're not coming to your page or your profile. For the most part, the people that are following you, that are connected with you, they're seeing your content in the news feed, right? They're not making an intentional effort to come over to your page or to your profile. They see it, it's served to them in the news feed. No different than if you're driving your car, right? Your followers are driving their car down the interstate and every billboard is bing, bing, bing is a message. You're one of those messages. So you want to make sure that you are getting their attention, that you're stopping the scroll, that when they see whatever it is that you've shared, whatever content you have, that it gets their attention immediately so that they see it. So when you understand that, they're not coming to you, but instead you're going to them, you're meeting them where they are. Now that you understand how they're consuming that information, how they're getting it, you can see why it's so important that you would have a good image, right? That you wouldn't just share a link to a blog post that you've written or a product in your catalog, but that you would give some context, that you would post something there. So you want to make sure as you're posting and as you're working through your content that you're sharing, that you really think about and understand how people consume the media and what steps you can take to get them to stop the scroll. So how do we stop the scroll? We have a really attractive graphic, something that's going to get their attention. That doesn't mean it has to be high-end and luxurious, but it needs to not be cluttered and confusing, and it should have your logo, your brand, so that when they see it, they know it's you. If you have fonts and colors as part of your brand identity, then all of that can help, stop the scroll because they're like, oh, I know who this is. I've seen this before. You never want to use just, again, plain text. You want to tell a story and explain why you're sharing it, but you want to make sure that you're sharing content where they are so that it gets their attention so that they stop the scroll. Want to stop the scroll. All right. And then number 5, be yourself, right? A lot of times we are reluctant to be social on social media, particularly in groups or on pages, because we feel like we're not good enough, or we feel like we're going to be judged, or we feel like whatever we feel like. You can't be someone you're not all the time. So it's much easier if you are just yourself. Be the highest version of yourself. Be the bubbly version. Believe it or not, I'm not always quite this bubbly, but if I'm recording videos, you better believe I am. So you want to be that version of you, but don't try to be someone else. That's just exhausting, and that's going to make you dread going on social media. So you want to make sure that you be yourself. Okay. And then, hey, just a little bonus tip. This one applies specifically to Facebook. This is a little bonus tip. If you're trying to increase your visibility and you're using groups, right? So you're in networking groups or community groups or whatever, make sure that your business page profile, make sure that your business page is linked onto your personal profile, because we all do this. We're in groups, somebody's interacting with us, right? We're like, I want to know more about her. What do? We go snoop out your profile. We become little junior detectives, right? We go stalk you in a nice way, not in a scary way. So you want to make sure that there's a nice, easy connection from who your personal account is to your business account. I hope this was helpful. Listen, it's not hard to increase your visibility on social media, but it does require that you understand how the platforms work and that you are consistent. So I would love to hear, what was your big takeaway from today's video? Go ahead and tell me in the comments. And if you're not subscribing, I might be taking it personally at this point. I mean, really, why wouldn't you subscribe? Why wouldn't you? It's awesome here. Rock on, friends. You like me. You really, really like me. Old school. Okay.